watch them. But yeah, so this is Elden Ring Nightreign. We played it. Also from IGN. Let's see what they say.
From the discovery of sprawling subterranean otherworlds to the startling second phases that completely turned the tables in so many of its boss fights, 2022's Elden Ring was a mesmerizing action RPG adventure that surprised players at every...
I think mesmerizing is an understatement. Hold on. And like, this is nothing. Compared to some people, it's nothing. But this is a lot for a lot of people. I did 80 hours. So, sorry, it's a little bit of a trip fest there, but 66 hours. I put 620 hours into the game. And probably a little over half of that's on one character alone. And I'm still not even done yet. So, yeah. So anyways.
Every turn. Now, more than 2 years later, it appears that developer From Software isn't done with pulling the rug out from under the feet of its fan base just yet. With the surprise reveal of Elden Ring Nightreign, a standalone co-op spin-off that takes the cautious dungeon crawls of Elden Ring and turbocharges them into propulsive slash and dash speedruns. After spending some 6 hours of hands-on time with this bold new spin on From Software's own Souls-like formula, I can confirm that Nightreign is shaping up to be something truly unique. If Elden Ring was one of 2022's biggest chart-topping hits,
I'm done. I'm actually done. I'm done. I'm so done right now.
Shaping up to be something truly unique. If Elden Ring was one of 2022's biggest chart-topping hits, then Nightreign would appear to be its dance floor-filling remix. Chopped up, intensified in beats per minute, and designed to both excite fans of the original and broaden its appeal to the masses.
Broaden its appeal to the masses. What?
Now, unfortunately...
For reference, it's their biggest game From Software has ever released.
Because it was such an early build of the game that I played, I wasn't able to capture any footage, even though it was running great on PlayStation 5. So I apologize for the generic footage I'll be using here, and also for my generic face. Anyway, here's how Nightreign breaks down. Imagine stepping back into the opening area from the original game, only nothing in the landscape seems to be where you remember it. Also, there are 3 of you now, and everything seems to be happening at a much higher tempo. That's Nightreign in a nutshell. You squad up with 2 other players at the start of each round, get dropped into a densely packed alternate reality chunk of Limgrave that has both its enemy types and structures randomly shuffled around at the beginning of each session, and it's up to you and your squad mates to build up from your lowly level 1 character status as fast as possible by harvesting runes and earning Destiny-style loot drops as you slash and dash through every enemy-filled camp that you come across. So, what's the big rush? Well, each session of Nightreign is structured as a 3-day cycle, with each in-game day taking about 15 minutes to complete. At the start of the first day, you can pretty much pick any direction to plot your whirling path of destruction along, but as day approaches, night the space you can operate in narrows, and you're liable to be killed by acid-like rain should you find yourself caught for too long beyond the perimeter of the rapidly shrinking circle on the map, known as the Ring of Rain.
It's like a
In that
speedrun
regard,
battle
Nightreign
royale.
is a bit like Fortnite, only with more medieval forts and knights, and considerably less TikTok dances. Once the Ring of Rain reaches its smallest diameter at the end of the day, a major boss fight is triggered. Like the rest of Nightreign's enemies, these end-of-day bosses are always randomized, and during my repeat runs, I experienced clashes with familiar returning foes like a draconian tree sentinel, as well as some brand new nasties like the centipede, a towering, twisting swarm of disgusting limbs, prone to detaching its body parts in an attempt to divide itself and conquer my crew. With the day 1 boss dealt with, day 2 begins and the Ring of Rain rescinds, allowing your squad to take a breath, regroup, and then resume ransacking the map for upgrades in preparation for the more challenging foes to come at the end of days 2 and 3. It's a structure that allows for a gradual build of
So the circle only happens at night, it seems. Which is kind of weird. But, okay.
tension before a palpable sense of accomplishment and release with each boss felled. Over time, my squad mates and I became a well-oiled machine as far as getting the balance right between beelining for churches to snatch up valuable HP flasks and taking down the more major overworld enemies like dragons and hippos in order to get maximum XP boosts for buck before the map was cast back into darkness. We were also able to eventually settle upon the best combination of heroes for our group. You see, Nightreign doesn't feature the lengthy list of generic character classes that the original Elden Ring did, and players won't have to Google the difference between vague-sounding archetypes.
So that's why, okay, so that's why it's always the three same people. So these are like heroes. So you're like a swords type dude. The bird's like an archer type, nimble sort of dude. Maybe he's got daggers and stuff, like throwing daggers and stuff. And then she, or maybe she's, I don't know. Yeah, you definitely got throwing daggers and bows and shit. And then she's like a daggers, maybe like a fencer type of person.
Like the prisoner and wretch
kind of
when they first hop into play.
That shit. Dude, it looks so good. Oh, wait, no, so the bird is the knight type of dude. And then the pineapple head is the archer.
Instead,
Crazy.
Nightreign offers 8 different heroes to choose from, each with very clearly identified strengths and weaknesses, in order to make it as easy to jump into as possible. 4 were playable in the preview build. Wilder is an all-rounder hero type with a good balance between speed and attack power. Guardian is a burly tank type with heavy attacks and increased damage resistance. Duchess is a nimble type with fast attacks and a killer quick-step ability. And Recluse is a mage type with ranged magical attacks. Additionally, each character features a unique skill and ultimate attack that both operate on cooldown timers. Wilder is able to use his hookshot skill to either reel in smaller enemies like Scorpion in Mortal Kombat, or to quickly zip past the swinging arms of a major boss in order to sneak a few strikes in from behind. Guardian is able to conjure up a mini tornado to knock swarms of enemies off their feet, while Recluse can put a marker on an enemy.
That's a new boss too. Look at that fucking spider, bro. Oh my god.
So that every time that enemy is attacked, the damage is siphoned into boosts for her own HP.
Wow.
These unique abilities are all extremely useful in their own right, but finding ways to combine them with the special moves of your squad mates is key to surviving Nightreign's toughest enemy encounters. One strategy that my squad grew to rely on quite heavily was to unleash a damaging ultimate attack on an enemy, such as Guardian's swooping dive bomb, then immediately follow it up with Duchess's restage skill, which basically creates an instant replay of the last attack landed and allows you to double the total amount of damage inflicted. It's in finding killer combinations.
This is gonna be, oh no, this is gonna be so bad. Bro, the speedrun, oh my god. Oh, this is content farm central, dude. Oh my god, that's insane. This is gonna be insane.
Combinations of moves such as these that the co-op focus of Nightreign really shines. And after multiple failed attempts, my squad was finally able to progress through to the 3rd day of the cycle, which climaxed in a fight against a snarling, Cerberus-like beast called Gladius, which forced my team to coordinate and queue up skills and ultimate attacks with painstaking precision in order to overcome it. Gladius is just the first of 8 major bosses to take down in Nightreign, each with their own 3-day cycle leading up to
what? That thing just looks creepy. That thing like kind of gave me the heebie-jeebies. It like looks creepy.
In addition to the randomization of enemy types and structures, further wrinkles will be introduced into each boss cycle, such as live volcanoes and forests full of rot, in an effort to prevent the landscape from ever growing too predictable. That's along with random events like meteor strikes, swarms of giant ants to fend off, and the surprise invasion of powerful tormentors like Margit the Fell Omen.
This is literally Elden Ring plus The Binding of Isaac. That's what it is. This is Binding of Isaac Ring. The Binding of Elden Ring. That's what the Binding of Elden Ring. That's what this is. That is insane. This is gonna be. I can't even say it enough. I literally can't say it enough of how absolutely insane this is gonna be. The plays that you can do. Like, imagine you could do this bird and he comes flying in. He does a big slam, and he knocks everyone up in the area. And then there's a big fireball. A big fireball comes and sets everyone on fire. And then they're like, I don't even know. Like, there's just so many things, like, you could, like, ignite all of them, or do a replay of the fireball, or whatever. Like, there's so many things, dude. There's so many little things that you could interweave. That's so cool, man. And, like, I wonder how all of the status effects will work. Like, sleep? Oh my god, is sleep gonna be insane? Is sleep gonna be removed? Is blight gonna be insane? Are they gonna just be super rare but be really good? Like, I don't know. How are they gonna do this?
Attempt to impede your progress. In addition to the approachability of its roster of playable characters, Nightreign has polished up a lot of Elden Ring's more abrasive edges to make it a far more friction-free experience. A new wall jump move allows you to quickly hop up and over steep sections of the terrain, while the removal of any fall damage means you can lunge off cliffs or down dark holes without pausing to study your surroundings for safe platforms.
Alright.
You only need to walk near a site of grace to top up your health and flasks. And if you want to spend some runes to level up, you just button mash through pages of auto leveling that best suits the base traits of your chosen character, rather than having to agonize over whether you should allocate a point to faith or dexterity, for example. It all gives each session the feeling of being shuttled along in an intense speed run.
It's the binding of Elden Ring. It is the binding of Elden Ring.
And you can get around even faster by using spectral hawks to vault across great distances of the map. Death is not necessarily the end in Nightreign either. If you find yourself down, you have a near death meter that appears above you, and your squad mates must attack you while you crawl along the ground until the meter is reduced and you can return to the fray. It may sound slightly odd to basically kick a friend while they're down, but it's a system that works quite well, particularly since you can use ranged attacks like magic or crossbows to revive a down squad mate from a distance without the risk of putting yourself in harm's way.
That's cool. So I wonder if you could, like, do a multi-attack, like if there's like a combo attack where you like do like a couple punches and then a big kick, and then you use that mage person to repeat that move on the downed person, and it gets them revived super quick. See, like, there's so many, oh my god, there's so many things that you can do. There's so many things you can do with this fucking game, man. This is insane.
Should all three of you...
Can you leave the hawks at any time? Like, I wonder if you could just dismount the hawks and you could fall all the way down and do like a jumping attack and one hit. Oh my god, dude.
Be wiped out at once, it's the end of the session, and you must restart day one with everyone back at level 1. So you need to stay on your toes in order to keep the rest of your squad on their feet whenever possible. While there's no doubt that elements of it are inspired by the likes of Destiny and Diablo 4, it needs to be said that Elden Ring Nightreign is not a live service game. Once you buy it, you get access to the complete package, and there are no battle passes or microtransactions to contend with.
That's a new boss too.
It can also be played in single player should you wish to stay offline, with enemy health pools that scale down so that it's not too overwhelming for solo players. Although, curiously, there are currently no plans to allow players to play in pairs. As someone who has sunk hundreds of hours into Elden Ring, both in the original 2022 game and this year's Shadow of the Erdtree DLC,
I haven't done that yet.
I can confidently say that From Software is onto something
truly special.
truly
So I haven't done Shadow of the Erdtree yet, for one specific reason. My main character that I've spent like 300 plus hours on is, if I remember correctly, at least plus 11. I've restarted the game 11 times. Shadow of the Erdtree is impossible for that character. Like, literally impossible for that character. So, yeah, I completely have to do a new one, and it's like going through the game the 18th time, and it's like, oh, I don't want to do that again. just to play a DLC. Like, oh my goodness. But when this comes out, I'm definitely putting hundreds of hours into the game again. It's gonna be a problem.
Spectacular with Nightreign. Cutting throats at breakneck speed with a pair of friends in tow has been a consistently exhilarating experience so far, and especially gratifying when you work together to topple its toughest bosses using each character's special abilities in tandem. Assuming the developers can throw enough randomized elements to keep each 3-day assault feeling fresh, then Elden Ring Nightreign
so cool too. It's all gonna be randomized every time, and like, oh my god, it's just gonna be it's such an experience from a Souls-like game. Like, this is so cool. And are these like creatures walking?
well provide an exciting change
Like, they look like creatures walking.
of pace for existing fans, and an enticingly accessible entry point for newcomers when it...
Because this is not anywhere close to there. This is not purple. Like, this isn't here. I don't even think there's anything over that way. Can't quite tell what that is. That looks like the Moonlight Church, or the Moon Church, or whatever it's called, where Ronnie is. One of Ronnie's towers, just randomly in the middle of some random place that it's definitely not in the normal game. And this terrain, I don't even think matches anywhere in the normal game. So they've completely changed terrain loadouts and like everything. Like, this is holy, this is next level.
Launches sometime in 2025. So, what do you think? Are you excited for Elden Ring Nightreign, or do you prefer things slow and steady rather than rough and ready? Let me know in the comments below, and be sure to read my full impressions and get your fix for all things Elden Ring Nightreign on IGN.
Damn. Boys. Let me say this right now, boys. This shit is going to be the biggest Souls experience to have ever come out. Like, you thought normal Elden Ring was good. You thought Shadow of the Erd Tree was crazy? Nah. Wait till you're a fucking bird, bro. Wait, look at him. Look at him over here. Wait till you're a fucking bird, dude.